Okay, so let's start. Welcome to the session about the chair cyber-cni, cybersecurity for critical network infrastructures. I'm very happy to welcome so many of you today for this session, and I'm sure that you will not be disappointed because, as you might have seen on the program, I really created an appealing program in the sense that we have short interventions by high-profile people with lots of information, and therefore I think it will be quite an interesting session and look forward to going through it with you. My name is Marc-Oliver Pahl. I'm the chairholder of the chair cyber-cni, and I will moderate the program and introduce you to the chair. We also have a panel at the end. So yeah, let's get started. So the first session I titled The Chair Cybersecurity of Critical Network Infrastructures as Important Pillar in the French and European cybersecurity ecosystem. And in that part I want to present you with the work that we do at the chair. And then we have testimonials from the institutional heads, from the industry partners, from the regional partners, from the politics and about the partnership with the chair, the importance of cybersecurity, and also the importance of having such a construction like an industrial research chair in the cybersecurity ecosystem of France, of Europe, and of the world. I give you a quick overview of the program, but you also have it in front of you. If not, Fabian will be happy to give you one. So this is what we've planned for the first part of the session. So it goes from 9:30 to 10:30. Then we have some time for networking. We can exchange. You can get some food, some drinks, and so on. And then in the second part, in the afternoon session, not in the afternoon session, in the second session, which will start at 11 o'clock, this is a part that is focused on the research. And this I titled Excellent Cybersecurity Research around current challenges in cybersecurity for critical infrastructures. And in there we have mainly two blocks. So first of all, we have also a statement from Jerome J.R.D. from the Regional Council of Brittany. And then afterwards I will introduce the research activities. And then we have 90-second pitches of the PhD students and postdocs that are doing research at the chair. Give you an insight in what are the topics, what are the current highlights of their work. And then in the end at 11:30 we have a panel on how safe are our critical infrastructures under the current geopolitical circumstances, because the war in Ukraine is the last huge event for us in Europe. And there we've seen that maybe our cybersecurity risk analysis has to be updated, because we've seen that there are much more vulnerabilities than the average person might have thought. And we'll go a little bit into that in the panel. And there I'm also very happy to have a very good spectrum of panelists with very different backgrounds. So therefore, cordial invitation to stay really until the end of this session. Okay, so then let's start with the first part. So the chair cybersecurity for critical network infrastructures. What is this? So the chair is an industrial chair. That means we have industry partners. So at the moment these are Airbus, BNP Paribas, EDF, and SNCF that are also present today, and they give funding that helps us to finance PhD students and postdocs, and together with them, we then do research with close exchange with industry partners. And I'm coming from Germany originally, and there such a concept is not existing, such industrial chairs with multiple industry partners. But when I put myself into the perspective of me having done a PhD, a situation of being inside a structure where I have multiple industry partners that have regularly points for exchange with, sparring partners in the industry, use cases from the industry, data from the industry. I would have dreamt of that. And therefore I'm quite excited and happy for being in this position right now, because we can really do great research with great resources that we have in the ecosystem around the chair. So the chair is a chair of the Institut Wien Telekom, and those of you from France definitely know Institut Telecom, the biggest chronicle in France. And those who don't know it now know it, so it's really the biggest chronicle. And so Technical University is the English term of that. And INT, Institut Telecom, is distributed all over France. So this was the map last year, I guess. And therefore, in the chair, there can be multiple entities, and in the chair, there are also 3 schools that are contributing to the chair. And the chair headquarters is in Rennes at IMT Atlantique. This is also where I'm working as a professor for cybersecurity. And we also have PhD students in Brest, where there's one part of IMT Atlantique, because IMT Atlantique is in Brest and at Nantes. And we also have 2 schools in Paris, namely Telecom Paris and Telecom Sud Paris. And we have students also at these places. And for me, this is also great because cybersecurity, there's just nothing where you can stay isolated and do your thing alone. But it's very important to work together with excellent partners. And at the chair, we have exactly this situation. So that means the students that are presenting today, they were coming from Paris, they were coming from Brest, to you today for presenting their work and discussing it also with you in person. The most important thing when you do research is people, and at the chair we have lots of people, so we have more than 10 professors that are involved, we have more than 4 postdocs, we have 9 PhD students at the moment, and in the 2 phases that are still active, which is phase 2 and phase 3, we have 7 partners that are working with us. When you look at it from an administrative perspective or a funding perspective, this is something that is always running for periods of 3 years, and then it's getting renewed. And this is the history of the chair cyber-cni. It's quite an old chair because it already started in 2016, and therefore we could already do lots of works. And through the time we had changing industry partners, which also totally makes sense because based on funding decisions, based on the interests, do I want to invest in research now, or do I not want to invest in research now, do I want to invest in this research or that research? We have changes of these partners. And yeah, at the moment, if you know, or if you are someone who thinks, that could be interesting, joining the chair, I also cordially invite you to contact us so we can discuss it a little bit more, because as you will see today, it's really a win-win situation, in the best sense, partnering with the chair and doing some activities together. And at the moment, we're looking for 2-3 more partners, maybe to add to the chair. Okay, so one element that we regularly do at the chair is that every 6 months we do a research update. The last one we did at the General Direction of SNCF in Paris just 2 weeks ago, the place where Sul Capi is coming from. And what we do today is like a condensed form of a research update with a much more extended program. And this is also something that is important in the management of the chair and also in the interaction with other parties, being able to formulate your research problems, presenting it in a concise and precise manner, and then afterwards discussing with the industry partners. And this is exactly what we do with this occasion. And for that we are traveling through France to partners doing the research updates there. We always publish the information about the research updates afterwards, so if you're interested in longer forms of the presentations that you see today, just go to our website. And there we also have longer videos of 20 minutes of each PhD student, where you can follow a little bit more what they're doing. And also I cordially invite you, of course, to use the time today to discuss with the people and the topics that you are interested in. And we are also looking for 2 more PhD students. The offers are also with us, so I guess Fabienne, I don't see her at the moment, I guess Fabienne has also the printouts of the job offers, so if you're interested in that, also please approach her. Okay, so research. So of course we are research chair, so we do research, and the research that we do, I'll go a little bit more into detail in the afternoon, but the research that we do is structured in 4 axes, And if, as you're all in cybersecurity, you will not be surprised that the first axis is prevent security by design. How can I protect the static parts of a system in advance? The second part is detect, as the system is not static but dynamic. It interacts with other systems, it interacts with people. You have to also detect dynamic anomalies. This is what we do here. When you detect something, in order to increase the resilience of the system, you want to mitigate from the things that you detected, obviously. And this is what we do in the mitigate section here. And then another very important factor that is often overlooked is the human interface, because cybersecurity is nothing that exists in itself, like, okay, I put a box and then I have cybersecurity. But cybersecurity is something where you have to assess risks, you have to take decisions what you do, and these are humans that are taking these decisions, at least in the end, because you cannot fully automate that. I mean, you can, but then the algorithm is responsible for your loss, and you might not want that. And therefore, we also have the axis looking at human-machine interfaces for cybersecurity, keyword metaverse, using it for professional cybersecurity tasks, and this is also something that we'll present today in the afternoon at the end. At the chair we have multiple PhD students, as I said before, and here you see how they are distributed over the 4 axes, and this is also a very good setting because we have students that are further or earlier in their activities, and so therefore they can support each other, they can work together. We have large test beds where the people can interact and work together, and this is quite nice. Plus, again, cybersecurity is nothing where you can look at an isolated topic, but you have to look at different topics because in combination they define the cybersecurity of your systems, and therefore it's also important and good that we have these different elements at the chair covered by different PhD students, as you will hear in the afternoon. But we do not only research, but we also do lots of additional activities. Of course, we have publications, so here's an excerpt of what we published in this year. And when you go on the website, we also have a stream of activities where we always try to update what we did. So we're a little bit behind, but in general, we always try to put things. And there you see that we have lots of events, like the Forum International Cybersecurity, where we participated. We organize a PhD school, and so on. So I cordially invite you to look at that. If you're interested in looking a little bit more what the chair is doing. We also try to publish our research talks there, and so on. One big thing is a speaker series that we're organizing. It's called Talk cyber-cni, and this one is about raising awareness on cybersecurity issues. And this is happening once a month, typically. Look at the website if you're interested. So the next talk will be next week. The recordings are also all available, and this is also a very interesting thing. Here you see a little bit an overview of the speakers and the talks that we had already. Okay. So this is the last edition of the PhD school that we were doing. The next one will be in next summer in Paris at the campus Cyber. So if you're interested, also check the website. We'll open the registration soon. We participate at big fairs, and here I'll quickly go through it because we don't have too much time today. So we have different activities throughout the year. We're also present in media, participating in roundtables and so on. We are co-organizing conferences, taking part in scientific events, obviously. We also make holidays and research updates and so on. And now we are also at the European Cyber Week, and we also have some demos at the stand of Airbus. It's the stand 8, I guess, in the basement. Okay, very good. And that brings me directly to the first or next point in the agenda, which is the testimonials of our partners. And the first one that I invite to give his speech, and I'm very happy. Let me just quickly check if I have a glitch here. Yes, 1 second, I just have to switch the order.